Starsky and Hutch is a 1970s American cop thriller television series, which consisted of a 70-minute pilot movie and 92 episodes of 50 minutes each. The show was created by William Blinn, produced by Speaking Goldberg Productions, and broadcast between April 30, 1975, and May 15, 1979, on the ABC network. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures Television in the United States and, originally, Metro Media Producers Corporation in Canada and some other parts of the world. Sony Pictures Television is now the worldwide distributor for the series. The series also inspired a theatrical film and a video game. Overview. The series protagonists were two Southern California police detectives, David Michael Starsky, the dark-haired, Brooklyn transplant and U.S. Army veteran, with a streetwise manner and intense, sometimes childlike moodiness, and Kenneth Hutchinson, the blonde, Duluth, Minnesota native with a more reserved and intellectual approach. Under the radio call sign, Zebra 3, they were known for usually tearing around the streets of fictional Bay City, California. The vehicle of choice was Starsky's two-door Ford Gran Torino, which was bright red, with a large white vector stripe on both sides. They used around 4 different cars for filming. Earlier shots had red wing mirrors, usually for long shots or footage used in later episodes. Close-ups in later episodes had silver wing mirrors. The Torino was nicknamed the Striped Tomato by Hutch in the episode Snowstorm, and fans subsequently referred to the car by that nickname too. However, this moniker didn't come from the writers, it came from a real-life comment that Glazer made in a segment titled Starsky and Hutch, behind the badge that was featured on the first season DVD collection. Glazer stated that when he was first shown the Torino by series producer Aaron Spelling, he sarcastically said to Soul, "That thing looks like a striped tomato." In characteristic contrast, Hutch's vehicle was a battered, tan, 1973 Ford Galaxie 500. It occasionally appeared when the duo needed separate vehicles, or for undercover work. However, the duo's cover was often blown because Hutch's vehicle had a bad habit. When its driver's side door was opened, the horn would go off, instantly drawing attention. It was also noticeable due to the severely cluttered back seat, so cluttered that there was no room to transport both prisoners and the two detectives simultaneously. Supporting characters. The detective's main confidential informant was the streetwise, ethically ambiguous, jive-talking Huggy Bear, who often dressed in a flashy manner and operated his own bar. The duo's boss was the gruff, no-nonsense but fair Captain Harold C. Doby. Starsky and Hutch continued the 1960s trend in some prime-time U.S. TV dramas of portraying African Americans in a positive light, even as real-life African Americans of the era continued to fight overt, everyday discrimination and negative ethnic stereotyping. Huggy's immense popularity with viewers caused producers Speaking and Goldberg to consider giving actor Fargas his own TV series. The second season episode, Huggy Bear and the Turkey, was the test pilot for a proposed spin-off with Huggy and his friend, former Sheriff Turkey becoming private investigators. However, this premise proved unpopular with viewers, and a spin-off never materialized. In the episode it was revealed that Huggy's last name is Brown. 2 series characters were named for people from William Blinn's past. Starsky was the name of a high school friend, and Huggy Bear was a local disc jockey. Series creator William Blinn first used the name Huggy Bear on screen for a character, also a confidential informant, in an episode penned by Blinn for the TV series The Rookies. During the 1973 second season, Prayers Unanswered, Prayers Unheard, they're played by actor Johnny Brown. Seasons 1 and 2, in contrast to police characters on U.S. TV. In prior years, Starsky and Hutch were open with physical gestures of friendly, brotherly affection toward one another, often declaring that they trusted only each other. While likely normal by the social standards of 1990s and later America, such body language conflicted with 1970s norms of masculinity. In a blooper tape made during the show's run that can be found on YouTube, the narrator intones that some Hollywood industry types referred to the characters as French-kissing primetime homos. Soul verified this statement in a 1999 cast reunion interview in the United Kingdom. Many fans were attracted not just by the characters, but the quality of writing during the first 2 seasons. The second season episode, Long Walk Down a Short Dirt Road, featured country star Lynn Anderson as a singer being stalked by a deranged person. It was based upon a real-life incident involving country music legend Dolly Parton. The part was written with Parton in mind, but Anderson wound up playing the role. Season 3 in 1977, a rising concern in America about violence on TV, along with Glazer's own concerns about the level of violence in the series, forced the writers to reduce the violent action scenes, use more romantically and socially themed storylines, and play up the buddy-buddy aspect of the show's leads even more. At the same time, the lead actors, Glazer in particular, became jaded with the general theme of the series. These and other factors contributed to the fading popularity of the series. Glazer indicated several times that he wanted to get out of his contract and quit the series. He even sued the producers to force a release from his contract before the start of the 3rd season. It seemed that he would not be returning for filming, so to fill the presumed void, the character, Officer Linda Baylor, was created, and a number of alternative scripts featuring her instead of Starsky were written. After being granted more creative control over scripts, opportunities to direct episodes, and a per-episode pay raise, Glazer returned to the show. Ultimately, Officer Baylor only appeared in 1 episode. The Play Misty for Me-inspired episode, Fatal Charm. Season 4 and syndication. Glazer again voiced his desires to leave during the 4th and final season. This time, Starsky's wayward younger brother Nick was introduced in the episode Starsky's Brother. It was intended that if Glazer was to quit, that the reformed Nick would take David's place on the police force. However, the disgruntled Glazer decided to return yet again, to finish out the season. Although a 5th season was planned, increasing production costs, Glazer's persistent desire to move on, and declining ratings, brought an end to the series. The final episode, Sweet Revenge, originally had its co-lead dying in the early drafts. However, the producers decided to have the character survive, as it was felt that a dead Starsky would disrupt the continuity of reruns, syndication, and preclude the option of the producers reviving the series in the near future. After its primetime run, Starsky and Hutch was sold into syndication, and has been shown on several local channels and cable networks. Several episodes from the first 2 seasons can be viewed for free in Minnesota and in regular format on Crackle. Much of the series was shot on location in the Los Angeles beach community of San Pedro. The building that was used as the Metro Division Police headquarters is now San Pedro's City Hall. List of episodes. DVD releases. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment has released 4 seasons on DVD in regions 1 and 2 between 2004 and 2006. As of 2014, these releases have been discontinued and are out of print. On August 27, 2013, it was announced that Mill Creek Entertainment had acquired the rights to various television series from the Sony Pictures library including Starsky and Hutch. On March 4, 2014, they re-released the first season on DVD. On November 11, 2014, Mill Creek released Starsky and Hutch, the complete series on DVD in Region 1. International broadcasts. On March 15, 1979 in Italy, Starsky and Hutch was aired on radio, achieving smash hit status. In 1987 it was broadcast again, this time in the late afternoon, on Italia 1, and in 2007 on Rai 3 at lunchtime. After some reruns on Italia 1 and AXN, in 2009 the series appeared Mondays on Fox Retro. It was aired in the early morning on Rai 4. In summer 2015 it was aired on La 7. In France, the show was shown on TF1. The French version replaces the original theme with a French song, singing about Starsky Hutch. In the United Kingdom, the series was an immediate hit when it began showing on Saturday nights on BBC One, with occasional reruns through to the early 1990s. It was rerun by 5 in 2003 in a 10 a.m. slot, during its primetime run. However, the BBC heavily edited or skipped altogether certain episodes. In fact, the first season episode, The Fix, was deemed too graphic and was effectively banned from all the corporation's runs of the series. Several other controversial episodes did on occasion air, but were heavily edited or seldom aired due to their nature. The Fix was never shown on British terrestrial television until May 31, 1999, as part of Channel 4's Starsky and Hutch Night. On January 10, 2003, 5 actually broadcast The Fix in their regular 10 a.m. slot. However, the episode was notably edited, and the scene of Hutch being injected with heroin was almost completely absent. The series was also shown on the UK satellite channel Granada Plus, and is now running on Zone Thriller, which was rebranded as CBS Action in November 2009. The channel has broadcast all episodes, with minor edits in a few cases. The first season is frequently aired on the Middle East Broadcasting Centre with Arabic subtitles. In Australia it airs on Digital Channel Go. In 2014, it started to be shown on 7 Mate. In Malaysia it currently reruns on RTM's TV2, placed in Best of Retro slot, in 2009. In Venezuela, the show was aired on Venevision. In Mexico it was broadcast in Televisa. In Algeria, the show was aired in French on ENTV state television during the second half of the 80s, and was a big success. In Puerto Rico the show was aired on WKAQ-TV, Channel 2 during the mid to late 70s. It was dubbed to Spanish.